What's happening, crypto fam? Happy Thursday. Good morning and welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott and it is an absolutely beautiful day here in Dresden. The sun has got his hat on. Oh yeah. Good morning guys. Thank you for taking the time out to consume the content. Appreciate having you here. Hope you're all well during these hard times. So yeah, it's a late one today. Apologies for that. I was going to go to work and then because the guy I'm not working with isn't working in the job anymore, so I rang up and there's just no work to do at the moment, so waiting for them to ring me back to tell me there's more work there. So back to no work for the foreseeable future, but is what it is, innit? What's interesting, what I saw the other day, and I meant to cover it and I didn't cover it. There's that many articles at times. I miss one now and then, and this should have been covered yesterday with central banks and BIS and that, but do you know what? We're not perfect, are we? So China is about to launch its national blockchain platform, part of the country's grand strategy to lead the digital transformation of the world economy. Ooh. Now, when you think about the Council of Foreign Relations guy at America saying stuff like, oh, we're giving away power, we're giving away the American-led order, we're giving it away. People think, oh, Russia's going to take over, or China's going to take over, or this is going to take over. No one's taking over. They're all spreading to a level playing field, so you have choice. So it doesn't matter if you're in America, you can choose China's network. It doesn't matter if you're in China, you can choose America's network. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of Russia, you can use ILP and XRPL and tap into anyone's network. There'll be nodes all over the gaff. Now let's have a little read. So led by the State Information Center, the Blockchain Service Network, the BSN, is poised to launch for domestic commercial use Wednesday and globally on April 25th. So yesterday it should have been launched for domestic and commercial use on yesterday, and then April the 25th for globally. If it works as envisioned, companies and software developers will be able to plug into the BSN and build blockchain-based applications as easy as assembling Lego sets. Make no mistake, the basic plug-in to the BSN will be an ILP API that plugs the BSN into your network so you can cross-network transactions. Doesn't mean they're all going to use BSN and only use BSN. Just like an IBM client and partner isn't only going to use IBM. The ultimate goal may go well beyond technical support for coders. As the BSN takes hold in worldwide countries, it will become the global infrastructure network that is innovated by China, whose gateway access is controlled by China, declares the latest white paper penned by BSN Alliance. Little heads up, if you're going to come on this, it's on CoinDesk. It's on our Twitter as well. If you're going to come on it, make sure you open it in Google Chrome so you can translate the white papers and that, unless you can read Chinese. It's led by a government agency and several state-owned entities and blockchain firms. As such, the project has geopolitical and macroeconomic implications. The move is very much like One Belt, One Road initiative, in which China provides other countries with infrastructure and gains some first mover advantage. That was James Cooper's comment, a law professor and director of international legal studies at California Western School of Law. The project reminds Cooper of Made in China 2025, a nationwide initiative to spearhead innovation in areas such as robotics, artificial intelligence. He said the subtext is a desire to overcome China's image as a copycat, reverse engineering innovations from elsewhere. Sounding a bit jealous there, Cooper. Let's get on with your own shit. In the October announcement of BSN's internal testing, the Chinese government envisioned a variety of use cases. These include smart city applications, which use sensors connected to the internet to collect data and glean insights for managing public resources. In particular, the alliance mentioned energy conservation. Also listed identity registration and data storage as opportunities for BSN. China has the ambition to be the technology leader in the world, and I think they might have enough technology chops to pull this off, at least within the blockchain industry, said Edith Yuan, managing partner of a blockchain-focused venture capital firm proof of capital. So several signs indicate that China's been building to this moment. China files the most blockchain patents in the world. They've got the most important infrastructure companies on board, banks, telecom and internet giants. Part of the network's mission, once it's proven to be efficient and scalable in China, is to go abroad, Hong Kong and Singapore, and among the 56 countries where the alliances tested the network first. We have already deployed some international nodes in other countries such as US, Japan, Australia, Brazil, South Africa, Singapore and France. Leon Li, CEO of crypto exchange operator Huobi Group, said through a spokesperson his Singapore-based company, its blockchain development arm is a founding member of BSN. Other countries will have So other countries will have incentives to join the network, pointing at the business-friendly priorities. They get the selling point for enterprises right in their white paper. For anyone to come on board, it needs to be low cost, fast deployment, and easy to manage. So they click the track. That's interesting, that. So what is the BSN? The initiative, which is rolling out next week after 6-month internal test, is led by State Information Centre, a government agency under National Development and Reform Commission, as well as state-owned telecommunications giants, including China Telecom, China Unicom, and payments from China UnionPay. But the BSN itself is not a blockchain protocol, rather it's a centralized platform. Ooh, you gotta put your money on that, lad. It's a centralized platform that has done the heavy lifting for developers so they can plug in and code, choosing from several enterprise blockchain protocols or public chains. The goal is to reduce their operational costs, improve flexibility, and provide better regulatory oversight, according to the white paper. Designed to unify the fragmented market, BSN is a cross-cloud, cross-portal and cross-framework public network that enables developers to easily and affordably develop, deploy, operate and maintain permissioned and permissionless blockchain applications and nodes. During the beta testing period that began on October 15 last year, there were 2,000 participants signed up, a third of them are enterprise, whilst the rest are individual developers. Deploying DLT applications on a major cloud services such as AliCloud and Huawei can cost developers tens of thousands of dollars per year. He said to make it less cost prohibitive for developers to deploy DLT applications, the minimal cost on BSN is only $300 per year. Only. Get out of that. So that apparent low price will encourage a vast number of small and medium-sized enterprises and individuals, including students, to use a BSN to invent and innovate, thereby accelerating the rapid development and widespread use of blockchain technology. Would they not rather use a free decentralized platform? I know it's China, and they're just going to get told, listen, dickhead, you're using this, or you shut the fuck up, and, you know, you're going to have to deal with this, lad. It's the way it is. You're going to see your dad, tell him to give it a slap, tell him to fill you in on how China works. Whereas the rest of the world are just going to be like, look, I'm not being funny, but I want a platform that's free. And I want transactions that are free. Listen, I can open a wallet on XRP and send the guy value straight away for free. Me, peer-to-peer. So if you want to make me use you, mate, start charging me 300 quid a year. You're crazy. Build my own Hyperledger fabric, permission network, don't need you. You're 300 quid a year. You're having a laugh, man. That's interesting, that, on how many Chinese will actually be forced into doing that. According to the white paper, the two main parts to laying the groundwork. The first is deploying the so-called public city nodes, essentially data centers or cloud computing resources dedicated to certain cities to processing transactions. These smart cities, data cities. I was watching a video the other day on the live stream, data cities. It's all that about, like a city of just a server the size of a city. Server and database, mate, what? The white paper boasts that it's signed up 100 city nodes via telecom members and is open to deploy 200 more at the end of the year. The second part of the configuration and the modification of several enterprise blockchain protocols to fit uniform standards in areas such as cryptography and software development kits. So these systems can work in conjunction with each other, basically be interoperable, innit? It's about interoperability. ILP APIs is all we need, mate. So far, the BSN has configured and added several permission blockchain protocols. So it's pool including Hyperledger Fabric, interesting. The open source software Walmart uses to track food along its supply chain. The network has done the same for China's homegrown protocols such as internet giant Baidu's Zupachain and Fisco, developed by a consortium of China's Shenzhen government agencies with local tech companies including Tencent, WeBank and UAE. Most recently, the CITA, the enterprise blockchain project initiated by developers at Cryptotag, was backed by the development of Nervous Public Chain and has also been added to the BSN. Once authorized by the Alliance and given a standardized SDK, developers will be able to choose a protocol and rent computing resources in locations they need to deploy a blockchain application. Because the permission protocols are adapted to support interoperability, developers will have more flexibility to switch from one to the other. The top-down approach enables China to build large-scale network quickly while avoiding regulatory red tape. China has a national strategy for public chains. In an initial BSN white paper published last year, the Alliance only mentioned support for Hyperledger Fabric, the permission blockchain initiated by the Linux Foundation, with contributions from tech giants including IBM. Unlike public blockchains underpinning Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which anyone with an internet connection can download and run, permission systems can only be used by approved parties unless you have a section of your Hyperledger Fabric framework and platform open to everyone. A permissioned network means you set the permissions. Doesn't mean no, like you can't give access to everyone and make a little bit of it public. Come on, guys. Excuse me. But the latest version of the white paper said that it's also including other permission blockchain frameworks. More surprisingly, it specifies that BSA will incorporate two public protocols, Ethereum and EOS. There are a few reasons why the Chinese government is wary of open networks. Numerous scammers in the country, lacking any technical foundation, have used common-driven public chain projects to raise money from investors via initial coin offerings. Even public chains are legitimate technology pose risks as the Chinese government sees it. If widely adopted as currency, digital tokens could undermine the Chinese central bank's monetary could undermine the bank's monetary sovereignty, for instance. As China aims to expand its network of its city nodes worldwide to create a global infrastructure, it's unclear how well it will be received if the state controls these access points. Interesting. Still, while the Chinese government has predominantly focused its resources on private blockchain projects, it's been engaging in public blockchain projects cautiously and discreetly. The Shanghai government, for example, announced it would write grants and set up research institute for Conflux, a public chain project funded by a group of top Chinese engineers. China Merchants Bank International, whose major shareholders include entities partly or fully owned by the state, are working with Nervos, a public permissionless network, to develop blockchain-based financial applications. The logic behind the government's involvement with public chains is that China needs to understand the technology and it could have its own Ethereum-like networks in such systems succeed. They're going to copy all of the networks they want, aren't they? It comes down to the thing that most people are scared of with the Chinese and that, though, and it's Big Brother, innit? So such networks underpin major cryptocurrency assets that are seen by the authorities as a source of speculation and systemic risks, but arguably inspired by the country's pursuit of a central banking digital currency. In the early days of its CBDC development, the People's Bank of China considered distributed ledger technology, but has pivoted to exploring a sort of middle ground between decentralization and centralization. China is doing what they say they would do. Okay. Their virtual currency may be rolled out within a year, and they are doing it. At least the infrastructure peace. And even with everyone locked up during COVID for the past 90 days, the BSM white paper spells out the thinking of the state-sponsored group that complete decentralization and libertarian nature of public blockchains make them ungovernable. China don't like the democracy through consensus idea, did they? Been watching my videos, scared them, didn't I? Oh my God. They're not ungovernable. The people govern China. So what? The way the world should really work is the people own the world and the animals own the world, and the people should be the garden keepers making sure the world is okay and the animals are okay. And we shouldn't have billionaires while we've got starving people who haven't even got clean water. We shouldn't have tyrants and communist societies telling people how they should and shouldn't live, right? So you like to say it's ungovernable. Nah. Blockchain will free the world. It will free your people from your clutches. Make no mistake. Many countries are able to formulate their own regulatory policies in relation to the Libra consortium blockchain founded by Facebook, but are powerless over the permissionless blockchain framework of Bitcoin. Therefore, even though the BSM will not support Ethereum and EOS, it's not allowed to deploy and operate public blockchain nodes on BSM portals and city nodes that are within China. Not supporting Ether and EOS. Are you going to use the Chinese blockchain? Are you? I'm not. And if you are, you've been forced to, surely. Someone's been like, yo, you're using this, and if you don't, then good luck, lad. Good luck, lad. So how can they do this here? Can they do that in places with democracy? That's the interesting question, innit? Everyone's worried about them taking our rights, taking our freedoms, locking us down, it becoming Big Brother, chips in the hands and facial recognition everywhere. Are they gonna try and get a grip of us like that, or do the democracy in the Western countries, do they realise that the time's up? Their time is up, and they're gonna spend the next 10 to 20 years getting as comfortable and as rich and as powerful as possible for their next generations to just hopefully continue life the way they've lived it. But make no mistake, man, this technology can change more than financial systems. It can. China's clearly scared of how it can change the governance of a country, voting through blockchain. It's pretty much why they're all only talking about crypto, digital assets and currency. Because no one wants to talk about how much it can actually change the world. So if we go with a little example, homeless people. Now in a way it could look bad if they started chipping homeless people first, won't it? You say, right, well, we're going to start chipping the homeless people, we're going to put chips in the homeless people. No one's going to be like, well, fucking hell, man, what's you can track them? So you know who they are and where they are and all this. You horrible bastard. What kind of control freak wants to track all the homeless? Guy turns around and is like, hang on a minute, but I want to track them. I want to help them. I want to help them. I want to help them gain some value. I want to help them gain some property and some assets. And I want to help them start moving on in life and getting happy. And I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to track them. I need to track them to be able to start helping them. See, not all homeless people go to shelters. Not all homeless people will go and tick a register when asked to. But all homeless people have got their hands out. They've all got their hands out. They all want value. I mean, you can argue some want crack and all that, but let's not go down that road, eh? And let's hope we're never homeless. But on one side of the coin, excuse me, you're like, oh, you're just going to chip him to track him, you're just going to chip him to track him. We're like, well, yeah, we kind of need to track him. Well, what do you need to track him for? Well, so we can help him, mate. So we can help him. And let's not talk about human trafficking and all the kids that get kidnapped tonight. If they just had chips in their hands, we could get them within 24 hours. We could find where they were. had chips anywhere in the body. You know, if they was trackable. I know, and again, you're going to have, oh, fucking hell, man, tracking kids. What you on about, you? Tracking fucking kids? You want to track kids? Well, no! I don't want to track kids. I want to stop the paedophiles and the rapists and the murders and the criminals and the horrible people. I want to stop them. And to stop them, I need to track them. And to track them, we all have to agree to it. Again, I'm not saying everyone needs to be chipped. I'm saying the world needs to get better, but humans need to be better. And if they're not better by 2040, what's going to happen then? Anyway, bit off track there. China's blockchain, live yesterday, local and domestic, commercial and domestic, global by the 25th of April. Internet of value being built, level playing field being built. We're all going to build a network. We're all going to have nodes all over the gap. You then get a choice which network you want to use, which network you want to tap into. And it's as simple as that. You get the choice. Healthy choice within a level playing field. That's what it was always about. It's what the internet of value is about. Healthy choice, level playing field. Shilling Greggs, best brew ever. Greggs do the best brew. I don't care what anyone says. Fair trade, cappuccino. Greggs do the best brew. Shilling Greggs. It's actually not a Greggs cappuccino from home. Costa. But shilling Greggs. I'm shilling the Chinese network as well. Fuck it. We don't need a Bank of England network. We don't need a FedNow network. We don't need XRPL. We don't need Bitcoin because China is dropping their bomb 25th of April. So it's all good. It's all good in Inglewood. Know what I'm saying? Stop watching what Bank of England are doing. Stop watching what Bank of America are doing. Stop the Bank of South Africa, Bank of China. Bank of China's on it. Bank of Russia, fuck them. European central banks, fuck them. Nothing matters now. The one true ledger, the Chinese ledger, is the one true ledger. Muppets. It's going to be thousands of ledgers, mate, in the internet of value. Thousands. No matter what I've said many times, oh, banks built ledger, what are they going to do? Oh, we're going to do the same thing, mate. They're going to do the same thing. Oh, China's done that. What you think FedNow are going to do? Well, FedNow are going to do the same thing, mate. Going to have most of their balance sheet on a private permission network and then the public balance sheet on a public network. And if you want to use it, you can use it. It's all exactly the same shit. Now I'm going for a little walk. It's an absolutely beautiful day today. Look at that. Ah, yes. But, yeah, guys, it's happening. One step at a time, one day at a time. Like, everyone wants it tomorrow. And it's not going to come that quick now, I'm afraid. We've just got to be patient. But China's clearly moving forward. And you know what that's going to do? The more China move forward, the more it's going to make America move forward. The more they move forward, the more it'll make Europe move forward. UK's already been moving forward. Just not quite got there as fast as China have there. Look out for like next year, 2022 for the UK to proper get sprinting. Same with FedNow in the US, but it's interesting to see how much to try and catch up shortly. We'll see what happens. You know the dance. We love crypto, we love XRP, and we love you. Invest in the internet of value, invest in yourself. Live long and hodl, guys. Wishing health and happiness to you and yours. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.